meet Cass. Yes, I'm back from India, safe and sound. It's been a while. A lot of people are texting me, are you back yet? Are you back yet? Yes, I am. Everything is good, family's well, everybody's all right. Being in India, oh my gosh, my head was spinning. The things I saw, I'm still kind of wondering, was it a dream? I was on, let's see, 7 planes, 2 to get there, and then once I went to the hotel where I was for 5 days, which was amazing. I'll tell you about that in a second. I decided to explore even more, so I ended up booking more flights and got on a plane here, got on a plane there, even went to the Taj Mahal, 4.5 hours to the Taj Mahal, 4.5 hours home to the airport. Then I flew home and got on some more planes. So it's crazy. There was so much, I don't know what to tell you. So what I'm gonna do with this video is just put clips together of all the different scenes and let you watch it if you want. But I will tell you that my preparation for India was perfect. I did not get sick. Everything I brought was perfect. The only thing I didn't need, well, I didn't need a few of the things. I didn't need fire. I didn't need the blanket, that special little green bag I brought. All the hotels I stayed at were westernized. They were really cool. Mosquitoes, you have to watch out for the mosquitoes, especially when I went to Varanasi.
Varanasi is 3 names. First name is Banaras, second Varanasi, third is Kasi. Kasi oldest name, Varanasi Hindi name, Banaras Muslim name, because Muslim people make Varanasi silk. Silk is very famous in Varanasi. Carpet is very famous of Agra. Jewelry is very famous of Jaipur. And Varanasi oldest city all over the world. Varanasi is Shiva city. And Varanasi people say Banaras. Banaras means Varuna Asi. That is the name of the Varanasi.
That's right.
That is the religion of the Varanasi.
I see. That's good. Thank you.
People there are humble, beautiful, loving. I never once felt threatened there. Never felt uneasy. Maybe in Delhi because of the scammers, you have to watch the scammers there. But especially at the other cities I went to, Rishikesh, I think it's Agra where the Taj Mahal is, which I was only there for a few hours anyways. But all the people, everywhere I went, were beautiful. The negative part, poverty. I saw so much poverty, especially when I took the train in to Rishikesh from Delhi, that it just blew my mind. I could not believe for every mile and as far as the eye could see, there was just poverty. And that made me sad because it was just how many people. I mean, they were living in buildings without doors, without windows. And the amazing part is the kids, and maybe even the people themselves, they didn't seem to mind. In fact, if you don't know what you don't have, maybe you just don't miss it, right? But for me, I mean, the way that they cooked, the way that they played, the way that they ate, the way that they lived, I don't know, it was pretty heartbreaking for me to see. But a lady walked up to me and said, your karma does not call for you to live in poverty. And I thought, it's interesting. She said that. And she said, this life here in India is not your life. It's not for you. You were born to live another life, so don't feel sad for the people here. They are here living their life the way their life is meant to be. And I thought that was deep. So a lot happened. Let me see if I can move through. The train was amazing. I don't know anybody, any women I know that would want to get on one of the trains there. And I was in one of the nicer trains, but the bathroom situation was scary, okay? The airports, you want to make sure you plan and get there early, even earlier than they say, because it's a little tricky. And even once I went through, they sent me back 2 hours. I came in too early, apparently, and had to go back through the security again. So, do your research. But India was safe. India was great. The food was good. I did not get sick. I did take all my little medicines, and they purified the water. I brought my little blue bottles you saw. I also made sure I ate all foods that were hot. Only once the food came to the table cold, and I sent it back, just like I was instructed to do from the woman that lives there. We sent it back and it came back, it was great. So I never got sick once. In fact, the only thing that happened to me was I got bitten on my nose. I don't know if it was a spider or some sort of bug. I wore my little mask all the time, and I put the mask on once I was on one of those tuk-tuks, those little 3-wheel taxi service, whatever they call those things. I put the mask on. When I took the mask off, I saw a little red dot. Luckily, this happened towards the end of the trip, but by the end of the trip, that thing was huge. So maybe that's why I waited to do a video for it to completely go away. But let me see what I can tell you really quickly. The first hotel I stayed at, really quiet. It wasn't as quiet as I thought it would be. Apparently 2 weeks before I got there, they installed these speakers on the walkway and they were playing music all day long up until about 11 or 12, and then it would come back on at 5 a.m. So that was a little bit annoying, but it was cool. There was one night I was sleeping there and I realized I was in India by myself. I had a little paranoid because they had told us they had 2 guard dogs that they keep on the premises, and they are not friendly towards people. They don't want you to pet the dogs because they'll bite. So they ask the guests to stay in the hotel rooms between 10 and 5 a.m. Why? Well, apparently tigers, pumas, and other animals come into the premises and they need the dogs to be wild enough to fight them. So one night I woke up and it was hot and I wanted to go out and I couldn't leave the room because I was fearful of the dogs or fearful of the tigers, right? So that was a kind of crazy thing. I mean, literally look across the river, you could see elephants walking. I mean, it was exciting and scary at the same time. It was amazing. And that's not even the most exciting thing that happened. So many things happened. Varanasi, they buried the dead there. They burned the dead there. And it's like 24/7, actually. I mean, you get there and there's smoke in the air and all you see and smell is like this smoke. And then you get down to the river. I had a private guide tour me through Varanasi for 2 or 3 days. And you discover that, yeah, they burned the bodies there. They burned the dead there. And I was actually on this beautiful river. And while the guy was explaining to me the process of how everyone brings the dead there and they burn the bodies there and then they go and they pray for 13 days after, apparently. He then said to me, except for the children who are under 5 years old, they do not burn the children under 5 years old. What they do is they actually tie a special rock around their waist and drop them to the bottom of the river that we were floating on. And I was like, wait a minute, you mean like right here? And he's like, yeah, like right here. It's about 85 feet deep, he said. And for years and years and years, hundreds of years, they bring the children under 5 years old and they drop them there. This is for people who do that practice. Of course, not all the people of India does that, right? But think about it. I mean, I quickly put my hand in the boat and was like, okay, let's kind of row a little faster to different waters here. But it was really cool. Oh, I also got married in India. Let me explain that really quickly. So I went to Monkey Temple or one of these temples, and they give you flowers, right? So they gave me this huge thing of flowers, and you give a little donation. I'm walking out, I see a Westerner, blonde woman. I'm allergic to flowers. So I took them off and I said, hey, do you mind if I give you these flowers? And she said, yeah. So I put it over her neck. She said, thank you. And I was walking away. And a guy, he runs over, he goes, do you know what just happened? And I'm like, no, what? What? He goes, you just married this woman. You offered her flowers, she accepted it, and you placed it on her neck. You're both married now. The only way to undo this, because you're on holy ground, is to offer the flowers back, and he must accept it. So she quickly takes it off. And I'm like, yeah, I'll put it back on me. So she puts it back on me and I'm accepting my flowers back. And he says, okay, it's undone. We're like, wow, that's kind of strange, So we shook hands, said goodbye, and I'm walking away. And then the woman says to me, maybe in another lifetime then. And I'm like, yeah, sure. And I said, oh, shoot. Because this is India, right? They believe in that kind of stuff, right? And with the way my life has been going lately, yeah, anything is possible. There was one time I was in Varanasi where I did have a second freak out. It was rush hour. If you've seen rush hour in New York, all I saw were people. I'm telling you, they make it work there. I mean, the traffic and the people somehow moving through it are flowing. But for me, I was freaking out because I'm not used to being touched by so many people. And I did not see a way out. It was a sea of people, sideways, backwards, forward. And I'm thinking, will I ever get out of this mess? I mean, with so many people, that freaked me out. I told you about the buildings that had no windows and no doors. These kids, little kids, 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds, 5-year-olds, the children are playing on the roadside and they're on the building without any railings or doors or windows. And isn't anyone worried that they're going to get hurt? A woman told me, she said, divine intervention. They're protected by God. They have a lot of faith and they believe in God. I saw a wedding with 2,000 people at the hotel, one of the hotels I was staying at in Delhi. And they told me that was a small wedding. It's usually 7,000 people or more. There was this little forest we drove through to get to the airport, and they literally have signs of tigers and monkeys and things crossing, you know, animals. And the taxi driver said, there's a section that while you're driving through it, you better get out before they close the gates at 10. I think it's 10 p.m. And I'm like, well, what happens? He said, well, if you're going through that section and they close you in, chances are we won't see you again. The reason why you won't see you again is because the animals, the tigers and everything else will get you. The animals, monkeys everywhere. There was the story of a man who was drunk at the train station now. And he fell asleep at the train station. And in the morning, they found him in a snake's belly. No joke. Let me tell you, I could go on for days, but for now, that was my India trip. I'm back. Peace and love. And yeah, I didn't shave my hair and I'm not wearing orange or any of that stuff. I did see a lot of people doing that though, but that's their story, right? So anyways, if you get a chance to go to India, I'll be going again. Do it. Love.